Shake allows you to create your own local variables, declare the variable type, and even set the data range, and then you get a little slider that you can use. You can use these local variables with expressions and links. To see how they work, let's load a picture, go to the Image tab, File In, right mouse click to our exercise file assets, double click on Stills, and let's come down and get the theme park. Say OK. Alright, to the theme park, we'll add a pan node. So we'll go to the Transform tab, click on Pan Node, and let's adjust our windows so we can see more of what we're doing. To create a local variable which resides local to this node, make sure it's in the Parameters tab, then right mouse click and come down on the pop-up to Create Local Variable. Select that. At first, enter the variable name. We're going to call our first one float var. Then you select the type. We're going to leave it as a float. Set the low value. We want it to be 0. Then we'll set the high value, in this case, to 3. Hit Return, and then click OK. We now have a new field, Local Parameters. We can unfold that. There's our new variable, float var. We also can see that it's floating point, and it ranges between 0 and 3. Let's add another one. Right mouse click, create local variable. This time we'll call it integer var. Hit tab. We'll set the high value to 10, tab, the low value to -10, return, and then we'll set the variable type to integer. So now I'll get a slider that has integer values from -10 to +10. Hit OK, and we'll unfold it, and there it is, -10, and notice it's all integers, up to +10. I now have two local variables that I can use any way I want. Let's try using them locally in this node. We'll unfold our pan parameter. We'll set the ypan to be equal to the xpan times float var, return. Float var is set for 0 at the moment. So no matter what xpan I do, the ypan value is going to have to be 0. And indeed it is. But if I set float var, for example, to 0.5, then the ypan will be 1/2 of whatever the xpan is. Or I can set it to anything I want. Now let's see how to link between nodes. We'll move this pan node over, select the theme park, come down and do a shift click on rotate so it branches off to the side. We're going to put a link between the local variable in the pan node and this rotate node. To do that, I'm going to select the pan node and Control T to open up a tweaker. And we can unfold the local parameters there, and there are my two local variables. We'll unfold the angle here, and we'll set that to be pan1 is the node I want it to link to. The variable that I want is the integer var, return. Now, whatever I have on the integer variable now appears as the angle. We can see the link with the Control E, the enhanced view. So on top of the link and the local variable, I can even add my own math. Times 10, for example. Now as I slide this variable that's in the pan node, the rotate node goes berserk. We'll close the tweaker, double-click on the pan node to load him into the Parameters tab. Let's talk about how to delete the local variables. Right mouse click, delete local variable. You get this little pop-up menu, and in here you can see all the variables that are in this node. So we'll delete the integer variable. Put that in the window and click on OK. And of course, the rotate node was referencing that variable, so now it's all unhappy because we've deleted it. One important thing is about the rules for naming your local variables. Don't use any of the single characters that Shake uses, like R, G, and B. You'll create great confusion and introduce bugs into your script. In this movie, we saw how to create local variables and to set up the variable type and even the range of data. We also saw how to use them with expressions and even link them to other nodes.